Any Muslim in the West shouldn't feel comfortable not knowing Arabic, and it's making you too comfortable, too content, thinking that that is enough for you to understand the Deen and understanding the religion, not realizing that all you know is a diluted version of it. Rather, those who truly fear Allah Azza wa Jal are none but the ulama, the scholars. Then you see scholars like, for example, Abu Ishaaq Shatibi. He says that the one who's a beginner in the Arabic language, that level equals his level in understanding the Sharia, i.e. understanding the religion of Islam. There is something called productive busyness, and researchers prove that high performance individuals, meaning somebody who is very good at something he does, whether he's an entrepreneur, whether he's an athlete, whether he's a talib ilm, a scholar, somebody that has excelled at something. There are researches that proves that those type of people, many times they became who they are. They became a highly productive person by doing too many things. Even though there is a rule that says don't do too many things, just focus on one thing because you are able to be more productive at that thing. This research explains that when your schedule is at 70 to 90% busy, you tend to be more productive. And the reason being is because you know you have things to do after this thing that you are doing now. So you do it with more intent and in a more aggressive manner. And your body, and I'm saying this from first-hand experience, my body is in a more stressful, it's more stressed, and a good level of stress gets your blood pumping. So you know, call it adrenaline if you want. And so when you are more busy, you tend to get things done faster. Now, what am I trying to say with this? Talking to thousands of students who want to learn the Arabic language, reading your comments across the 7 years, you know, seeing all the data and what all the students say when it comes to why they cannot start learning Arabic right now, is procrastination. And that procrastination, many times, it's a translation of saying that I'm too busy right now, when I have more time I will do it. But the opposite of this productive busyness, meaning the opposite of not having your schedule at 70 to 90%, what it does is your system tells you, well, you have time later, so you can do it later. And what happens is that you end up procrastinating more than actually doing the job. And I've seen this with myself. Sometimes I might be working on 2 projects. I might have my Qur'an in the morning. I might have in the weekends my own lessons with my sheikh. And if you were to tell me, you know, do you want to be this busy? I'll probably say no. I'd rather just focus on one thing at a time. But impressively enough, you end up getting more things done when you are busier. And so this is for you. If you're somebody who tells yourself, yeah, but I'm too busy right now, I cannot learn Arabic, I cannot start right now, so whenever I, you know, later on when I have more time, etc., etc., start right now. And believe me, you will not get less busy. And if you have in your mind like, well, no, when I'm finished with this, when I'm finished with uni, when I'm finished with this job, when I'm finished with this project, I will have more time. If you tell yourself that, know that nothing in this dunya is stable, and at any time that can change. And you thinking that you actually will get less busy, actually you might get more busy, and then you end up never starting. So if you believe that learning the Arabic language is something that will genuinely make you a better Muslim and will genuinely optimize your end goal in this dunya, which is getting to a higher rank in Jannah, let alone getting in Jannah, but getting in Jannah at a higher rank, because knowing Arabic increases your knowledge, increasing your knowledge increases your taqwa, increasing your taqwa increases your connection with Allah, right? That's why Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Qur'an, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Rather, those who truly fear Allah Azza wa Jalla are none but the ulama, the scholars. So Allah Azza wa Jal is saying that only those who have knowledge fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Then you see scholars like, for example, Abu Ishaaq Shatibi, in his book of Usul al-Fiqh, very known book, he says that al-mubtadi', the one who's a beginner in the Arabic language, that level equals his level in understanding the Sharia, i.e. understanding the religion of Islam. Then he continues to say that that one who is mutawassit, that one who is intermediate in it, therefore he becomes intermediate in understanding Islam. And the one who is later on an expert at the language, then he becomes an expert as well understanding the Sharia and understanding Islam. So in the Quran, Allah says that only those who fear Allah truly are the scholars. Then the scholars themselves, they tell you that the Arabic language is directly linked to how much you understand of the Deen. And you know what's crazier is that, what's funny is that somebody who doesn't know any Arabic will say, well, that's not true because I know a lot about Islam. And anybody that feels like they know a lot about Islam is the evidence and proof that they don't know nothing about Islam. Because the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, and the more humble you become. And seeking knowledge and practicing Islam is about realizing every time you go over information, every time you go over a book, every time you go to a class, realizing how unaware you was of yourself and of things related to Islam that you didn't know before. So knowledge should make you feel like, wow, I didn't know nothing. But the problem that happens is that those who don't know the Arabic language, they actually tend to believe that you can actually understand the same level of understanding of Islam as somebody who knows the Arabic language and as somebody who has the first tool to access knowledge directly. And it just blows my mind how this can be possible. And this is why my whole da'wah and my whole methodology is not about topics like beginner topics, like do you start with grammar, do you start with vocabulary, what do you start with? My main da'wah is any Muslim in the West shouldn't feel comfortable not knowing Arabic. But in the times that we live in, the whole agenda and how, after colonization, etc., and how Muslims are comfortable with the language that they growing up in the West, whether it's English, German, whether it's Swedish, whatever it might be, this is actually hurting your psyche and is making you too comfortable, too content, thinking that is enough for you to understand understand the Deen and understanding the religion, not realizing that all you know is a diluted version of it. Anyways, this was a quick video. What I want to say right now, if this identifies with you, if you identify with anything that I've said and you actually want to do the first step and have our team of instructors, our team of individuals at Under this Institute help you actually get past this feeling of like, oh, I can't do it because this, because that, oh, I might not be disciplined enough, etc. Go to the first link in the description of this video. Go ahead and book a qualification call. My team this month, we are opening enrollment to a new batch of students. So if you want to be part of those, go ahead and give your number and your email in there. My team, which we work almost at a 24/7 basis, except for Fridays and some days, we're gonna give you a call. We're gonna ask you a few questions to see if you qualified for our program and see if our program can help you out. And inshallah, sky's the limit. And we're gonna see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.